Okay, we're gonna do single player. We're gonna mess up my screens. Oh my god, I didn't press the right button. There we go. That will. So again, we're progressing on the map. So we're at 82.4% of the map being open. As you can see, I've just got a little bit. So really, it's just a matter of driving around. I think I may try and do some jobs this time round rather than just messing around trying to fill in areas. Let's have a quick look. Obviously, if there's nothing around, then I'll just have to drive whichever direction it is. That's where I go. When you go. That could be a nice little trip. Might cover a few roads. If they go in the right direction. Not so much that one. I think that first one. We're going to take some sausages, I think. For life of me, I can't see half my screen. So, hopefully everything's plugged in and working. We shall soon find out. Done a little rearranging with the shifter here. There's going to be a new toy arriving soon, so we shall see about that sooner or later. Right, have we got gears? Mouses are responding to the shift because I've mounted it on the same. That could be annoying. I could turn that off though. Don't technically need it all the time. Gears are working, I think. Yeah. Okay, so Matt. Oh, good start. What I might do is change my view though. I will need my mouse, won't I? Don't tell me my game has crashed. I'll be a happy bunny. Looks like it has. What a great start. Yeah, Euro truck has crashed. Let's reload it. Okay. Get the audio back on. Hey, never rains but a pause. Right, so it's taking me back. This is my own truck, so I can escape out of that. want to escape. Job. Good job. Let's hope they got the same job somewhere. Right, let's get those sausages, shall we? Sausages. Right, so I thought that was going to be a good mount. That clearly is going to be a bad place to mount. I may need to rethink my mouse configuration. Angle that down. Hey, Off-Key, how you doing? Oh, where are we? I think that'll do. The mouse is going to do my head in where it is now. I thought I'd replace the mouse to a good place. Ha! Really not. Right, start again, shall we? Will I make it out through the gate before crashing? Right, so any grey areas on the map, we're going to have to try and get. Ignore the lights. Might have been a bad idea. Right then. Yeah, I'm all good. Thought we'd have a relaxing stream today. God, I can't remember the gear shift. Wow, look at the jet fighters. Not noticed them before. Head straight down. We're going to turn left, up, and then left again. Loop back, get the road. So this little area be here now. We're going to have to map. We're going to have to drive around, open the roads up, then we can head out. Because my target is to get 100% map before they release the next DLC. Otherwise it's going to put me back even further. What have you been up to, Off-Key? Have you had a fun and interesting day, or...? Right, so... Maybe a bit naughty. There's a big hole down there. Gladly they've blocked it off. I can't do rally all the time. I don't know how much of the last stream you saw, to be honest. I think I saw you say hi, but I don't know. I was concentrating on rallying so much. That's the only problem when you're doing rally driving. You're concentrating so much. It can be hard to keep an eye on what's going on with the stream and the chat. Hey, slow and boring's not that bad. I'll be busy all the time. Right, do I need... Can I... Oh. Yes, if I go down this way, we'll mop up this part of the road. Right, what we'll do, we're not going to go all the way down, we're going to swing it around if we can. Now we can go this way to the right, pop into that area quickly before the lights change. Come on. God, this truck has no power. So again, You've got to drive into these areas to map them off to get your percentage up. There's a tiny little bit on the right hand side by here now, so we'll map that as well. Get out before that guy comes through. Right. That's that little area done. Oh, right. Alright, what? I don't know what Nightbot is doing, so sorry. Oh man, I've hit the wrong gear. Right, there's clearly something done with Nightbot. So, bear with me. We shall sort Nightbot out after this stream. I do apologise. I thought I fixed it. Clearly I haven't. I've left a setting somewhere. And it's obviously to do with spam, so I shall check that. As for Assetto Corsa, that was just literally hot laps. It's still early stage for Assetto Corsa, I should say. I like it. It's quite a load though on the PC. You have to knock it down. I find even on a good PC with a single screen, people should be knocking it down, because I can see the stuttering then. I think if I wasn't streaming it, it'd probably be okay. Saw a few people complain about the handling. I didn't seem to have a problem, to be honest. It felt okay. Right, we'll have to come back to that area because I completely forgot to do that other area. But can't spend all our time on one zone, otherwise it's going to be a rather boring stream. So we might as well make some way for the job, because we've only got, what, 3 hours on that now. 6 hours to do the job though, so got to squeeze it in somehow. Yeah, I need to find some car setups for Assetto Corsa, because the guys in there, I had a quick hop on today to see what the leaderboard was doing with that Jag and Zolder race circuit, and they were getting the cars around in 127, which is like, that's blooming fast. I mean, I was doing 131s. I knew I was off the pace, but I certainly can't go around that circuit any faster than what I am without a car setup of some form. You know, I was trying to tweak it, but I'm terrible at tweaking cars. I'm one of those who, give me a decent car setup, I can do okay. I'm certainly not going to be the fastest, but I'll give it a good go, and I'm sure I can go faster if I've got a good setup. Yeah, tell me about it. I'll crack it one day, don't you worry. Bridge time. Gotta take the view in. I've tweaked the volumes a bit as well. Hopefully the truck's a bit louder and my voice isn't as loud. That was the wrong button. That won't let me go outside view. It's a shame really, because it's good when you do outside view with bridges sometimes. No, this bridge does not like outside view. Oh, it's a good bridge as well. So yeah, hopefully the sound is now a little bit more balanced. I've got to balance the sound for more games as well. I've noticed that Dirt Rally was kind of quiet for the engine sounds, so I fancy cranking that up a bit more. Wow, auto pass, I like that. No barrier. That was awesome. They need to do that more. Hey Ray, how you doing? Has anybody else noticed that chat when streaming can be a little bit all over the shop? Mine's been acting up funny. Sometimes my chat doesn't even load into my Streamlabs OBS, so I don't know whether it's just me or is it just chat in general. What's the matter with the bezel? Are you just seeing too much of the bezel, or...? I'm kind of lucky with these screens because their bezel on these is about as small as you can get. Any smaller, it will literally just be panel edge to edge, but you always get a little bit of a gap at the moment. Oh wow, that mapped in the whole section. Thanks very much. Need that. Alexander, thank you very much, and welcome. He accelerated. I didn't see him, I wasn't watching. Can we go exterior view here? Yes, we can. So what's that on? Is it in all games or just in certain games like ETS? Shooting up there. I was going to go lanes then. Oof. Oh, talk about cutting in. Cheek. Oh, I don't know why I went to this lane. This is just silly. Come on. Seriously? What graphics card are you using, Ray? Right, I'm thinking of changing lane, but everybody's ripping by me at the moment. See that tiny section not mapped there? That is so annoying. I'm going to have to come back through and get that. So we've got 1 hour 14 minutes on this. Oh, squeeze it in, come on. Flying down here at the moment. This is normal ETS. I'm not going to use Pro Mods until they've updated it to work with all the DLC. I just don't see the point. As much as I like Pro Mods, this is your plain vanilla ETS, all the DLC, no additions other than some Jazzy Cats packs and some truck mods and things like that. There's no graphic patches or anything like that. Just your base vanilla game and all the DLC. I'm hoping that Pro Mods will be releasing soon. When they do, yeah, download it, put it on, because I do enjoy Pro Mods. I usually run Pro Mods, and I certainly don't mind Pro Mods, but sometimes they're a bit slow with their updates, so I refuse to just roll back and miss out on the DLC. I'd rather play the DLC. You know, there's no way I'm, and I know it's a small amount, but, you know, there's no way I'm spending like 13 quid on a DLC just for it to sit in my inventory and not use it because I want to play Pro Mods. I'd rather play the DLC, do the achievements and do that, and when Pro Mods comes out, add that in, because what will happen if I get this, say, to the 100% and I add Pro Mods in, because they're adding extra road networks, that's going to put my percentage down, so I got more roads to map then, so it'll just give me more to do. And I think on the flip side, if you take Pro Mods off, you may be missing roads, so you still have some patches, so if I can get the base game sorted, then I know where I am. Hey Addy, how you doing? Long time no see. Do you know, I keep forgetting the gears on this one. I'm on the 12.2 Scania box, I think. I'm good. I think everybody's good, to be honest. Right, and where are we? Left or right? Let's go right, shall we? Probably just made the worst decision. Ah, school's got to come first. Gotta do your work. Yeah, I went the wrong way round. Sucks. I was thinking of turning it by there, but I think I'll go out and turn it around. I'll play safe. Well, it's not so much crying and, you know, yes, you can play pro mods, you can roll it back, but it's like, well, I just don't see the point in running pro mods when you can't use all the DLC at the moment. You know, if you run pro mods with the Baltic DLC, then all you'll get is the pro mods version and not the DLC that you paid for. So to me, it's like, well, I'll just run without pro mods for now. And worry about pro mods once they've updated it. Because as soon as it's out, I'll be one of the first to download it again, you know? I'll be like, yeah, I'm having that. Right, mouse. Well, at least I've discovered one thing. The mouse location, which is now right next to the shifter, because it used to be up here and a pain in the butt to reach, is in a really bad place, because every time I move the shifter, I nearly said it wrong, I'm gonna have to it's gonna vibrate the mouse basically, so I'm gonna have to remount it. I'll probably mount it onto this, the flight. Maybe mount it so it tucks underneath and I can just pull it in and use the mouse that way then. We shall see. I'm rearranging things ready for the next update. What are we gonna do now? So we need to do map again. See, so even with that short little job of mapping a little bit here, we've only done like another 0.5%. It's like sucks. Travel through Italy. See if we can pick up some of the side roads. It'll be fun. I quite like driving through Italy. Job market. Quick jobs. Let's have a look in Italy. I need something that goes to Rome, maybe. That's the wrong way. Almost definitely. Goes all the way to Turin. Unless we go via Rome. Verona? Let's go in the wrong way. Or ton of boats. That could work. And we could go down, take the long route and up. Right, let's take that one. Even if it is in that one. That's an 18-ton Caterpillar. Great. What truck are they going to give us? 370 horsepower. Really? It's going to be a fun one. Let's have a look. Oh man, I got a pink truck on the inside. Well, I don't know, it's more purple, but eek. Look at that. Look at this. This is stunning. Wow. Oh my god. He's sick. Ugh. This is a mod. I think this is a mod I need to delete. Right. This might be a little bit of a struggle. The mouse is still feeling the vibration through the rig. That's the problem with this. Such a stiff rig, it really does sense the vibration through it. Right. Oh, cyclist. Or motorbike, I should say. We're going to go this way. Grab this road. Fuel wise, 500, 200 miles. Yeah, we're fine. There's a big chunk of grey on that map. I want to see if I can get to it actually. Right, where's the... That's the one. Can't remember my gears. I'm terrible. The police are out in force today. Oh wow, that's a nice accent. Homemade, based on a SimLabs, but I've customized it. SimLabs uses really big and chunky 40 by 120, I think it is, for the base. Which, yeah, could have gone the same route. Didn't really need it for the base. The sidebars then I think are the same. Which I'm not 100% certain, but if I was to rebuild this rig, I would be tempted to use the same for the bars, the uprights. However, I'm not 100% certain whether it would offer any benefit. The base for the chair I've modified and gone for a slightly thicker mount to give me adjustability, so I can lay them flat, lower it by 40mm, or I can put them up on this side, raise it by another 40mm, giving me an 80mm rise overall. These I've kind of just custom... Oh god, oops, mind that. Custom configured so I can put flight sticks onto the rig as well and swing them into use when I need them. The mount for the wheel is all made out of the Aluminium Profile. So again, it's really strong. Come on, buddy, stop. And the rig overall is wider than a P1. To give me a little bit more room. There's plenty of room in the rig. I don't feel like I'm cramped in at all. And that was my worry with the P1, you know. I'll admit, I'm not the smallest guy in the world. So I felt, you know, well, I fancy just having something that's going to be a little bit more comfortable for me. price-wise, I think all the metal itself cost me about 400, and then the parts like the washers, the brackets and bits and bobs, that cost me about another, if I had to price it, probably about another 80 quid, all done and dusted. It's about 480 all in. I'm sure I could probably do it a little bit cheaper. There is a place in the UK I ordered from Mercedes, which is like a German website or something. I think there's a place in the UK. Pricing wise, they're not bad. There's 3 bars I fancy buying to make my own footplate for these pedals. Just to see if having the pedals more rigid gives me any further performance. I don't think it will, to be honest, but for the price, might be worth a try, you know. Well, it's not really half price when you think about it. I mean, if you were to buy a SimLab, I wouldn't tell you to buy it from SimLabs. If you go to Demon Tweaks UK, you can pick up a SimLabs for 600. But to me, it was like, well, by the time I buy the extras, if I was going to mount the flight sticks on there permanently like I have, I'd have to buy the metal, add that on. You know, the way I've done it as well, I've ended up with spare bits of metal. So whenever I think of something and I want to add it to the rig, I just have a look at my pile of metal I've got. I've got very little left now. And if I can use what I've got, I'll just slap it to the rig. I've made a new shifter mount here the other day, so I could jig my shifter around and move it a little bit closer to me. That allows me to move my flight stick right the way in if I want to use it. I'll put a light on so you can see. And again, it's the same with this one, you know, I can move that in, and I've got full control over any flight throttle that I want. And again, I just move them out when I don't want to bring them into play, so to speak. And I've got to be careful because the mouse on that was on there. The chair, I cheated. I just want a chair that's really comfortable. You know, I know the end thing is it's a race rig and all of this, and you've got to have a race seat, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, if I was in a car and I was racing, yeah, I'd want a racing seat. I want to be supported. But my rig doesn't have any feedback in terms of the rig's not going to be rocking side to side, so why do I need a race rig to hold me in place? Sorry, a race seat. So I thought, nah, you know what? I'm just going to go for a chair out of a car. Had a look online and picked up a Mazda 6 half leather seat for about 80 quid off eBay. Had that delivered, modified the brackets, in other words, cut the brackets off underneath, and mounted it directly to the rig. Does the job. It saved me a bucket load of money. Bucket, get it? Bucket seat. You know, because the chair I was looking at, you were looking at nearly 300 quid minimum. You're probably looking at, by the time I finished pricing up the bits for it, just shy of 400 quid for a race seat. And I was like, do I really need to be spending £400 on a seat when that £400 could go to other items on the rig? So I decided to save my money. You know, if I'd finished my rig and I had plenty of money, I'd happily get a race seat. But I tell you what, this Mazda seat, oh, it's nice and comfortable. Right, we're going to head off on this one. I've missed areas yet again. Right, map. Before we miss any more areas, I think that's what I need to do. Where can we go to open up roads? See, I should have come down here. Right, so what we'll do, head down here. I wonder if there's any way we can go there. Looks like we can. We got some twisties here. Well, I'll do. That should get a few roads open up. That's a 9-hour trip all of a sudden. Nine hours. How many hours do we have to do the job? Only 8. We might have to be hitting the old turbo switch. I've got to remember, I've turned... hold on. Options. I need to go to gameplay. I need the speed limiter on or I'm going to be doing really bad. If I was going to get a race seat, it would be brand spanking new, you know? And plus I need a seat that's going to fit me. You know, there's loads of seats out there, but a lot of them are going to be, you know, for your normal size, slender person. And I wish I was nice and slender, because it would make choosing a race seat lovely and easy. But, you know, I did a bit of pricing up, but I thought, you know what, I just don't want the headache of trying to sort out a seat and making sure it's the right size. And I thought, you know what, I'll just go for something that's nice and comfy. And what's better than going for a seat that's straight out of the car? Very little modification. And you do have to be careful when you're choosing seats out of the cars, because they do have mounting brackets, because cars aren't exactly flat on the underside. You'll have, you know, lower on one side, higher on the other, so they'll have brackets to balance the seat out. But I checked out the Mazda before, and yes, it has those brackets, but as long as the seat underneath and the rails underneath the seat are straight, then all you do is lob off the brackets. So I've lobbed those off, made my own bracket out of a side mount bracket, turned it upside down, mounted the seat to it, and side mounted it to the rig, and it works. And that's all that matters. Right, I think I'm going to go this way. Drive through here, open up this section. Well, that's annoying. I was hoping it was going to open up the old road. Flashed in a bit of it. And the beauty is as well, if I do decide to get a race seat, I know that further down the line, when I'm all done and dusted with tweaking the hell out of this, then yeah, you know, get a seat, plonk it in. I think I've seen Ray's vid, he's got a nice race seat. But again, where I'm located in my room, I'm right up against the wall. If I went for a race seat, it probably wouldn't fit, because it probably hit the wall. So, yeah, I've got a lot of... It's not in a perfect place. I might try and tuck it into the area where it is more straight. At the moment, my rig's into a corner at an angle. But I'm thinking if I have it straight on up against the wall, I might be able to twist it in, and then it gives me more room. The problem is these monitors, the monitors are so wide that it limits how I can have it placed. Otherwise it sticks too far out into the room. Oh well, live and learn, hey. Is that what it is? I did think, mine, that looks like either that's a really big seat or, you know... Ah man, this mouse player's gonna do my nut in. Maybe I'll have to look in disabling mouse look. I'm trying to remember which one I was looking at. I know there was one I was looking at importing. I think it was a Murtec one as well. I think that's Murtec, is it? I can't remember. A Miraco or something. I can't remember the name. Yeah, I looked at a good few different types. But in the end it was like, well, I've got nowhere near me where I can sit down and try these seats out. The last thing you want to do is be messing around sending them back and forth because, oh, this doesn't fit, that doesn't fit, or that's too big, that's too small. So I thought, nah, I'll just get a car seat for now. So if you're planning on, if you want to get car seat, certainly a Mazda, but you've got to do a bit of work. The next seat I would probably look at though would be a BMW 1 Series, because they look like they're rather flat on the underside and rather evenly spaced. So it shouldn't need too much work if you wanted to put a genuine car seat in your rig. And I believe Vauxhall seats, some of them work well. I did have a look at Mitsubishi seats. I think some of them might work. And some Mercedes ones. But you've got to do your research on the brackets underneath and how easy they are to lob off. Nothing that an angle grider wouldn't fix though. I think it was the same day or maybe the next day I had the angle grider on the seat. Took them off, spray painted the underside, and then carbon wrapped where I had done the work so it all looks nice and tidy. I didn't have any black paint, so I just put primer on and carbon wrapped it. I thought, well, it'll be fine, you're not going to see it. That's a big sucker, isn't it? Ah, go for it. I mean, when you think of it, there's cars out there with the Recaro seats. What was it? I think Vauxhall, they had the VXR seats looked quite tidy. I know that some manufacturers use Recaros as well. Right, we're going to go right round this roundabout, clear that up. That's okay, so I'm guessing if we turn here, we've got to open this grey area up, but we're going to go this way. Right, is this a road we can go down? I'm guessing it is. Let's do... I don't know where it's taking me. Yeah, that's that tiny bit of road I've missed. Why another seat anyway? Is there something wrong with the seat you've got now, or are you not using a seat? Right, we can go straight through. Why do I look like I'm missing a huge chunk of this place? Wait. Map. Let's block everybody. Oh, see? Just push the mouse up. Where did that go? It wasn't the mouse, it was something else. Not for that. Oh, where is my mouse? Zoom in. Right, so that's going to take me in. We're going to come back round. That's going to take me back out. In other words, we come in, then take a left, get all of this, and head back out. Right, okay. That's what I needed to double check. And that's the wrong way. Oh, a nice port view anyway. This looks really well done. I see. Check this out now when it pans round. The way the buildings are done. This does look like you could be stuck abroad somewhere. For a minute, that does look really good. That wasn't the right button, was it? That should be that. Alright. I should have pulled in there. Damn it! Right, hold on. We gotta go in here. So what is your main game to play then, Offkey? What do you like to play? Any racer in particular, or you race anything? Right, let's go back and get that other one. Stuck in you for a second. I'll be cheeky. Yeah, I can. Wait, no, you're not going just yet. Damn it, you did. Right, we've got a port area. Right, that's mapped nice and easy. Swing it round by here. Well, Race Room's a good game. I've got Race Room as well. Race Room is a game that I would love to get my teeth into a lot more. Doesn't seem to be too much happening with online with that, unless you're doing the SRS race system, from what I can tell. But I do nip on it now and again and have a blat around the tracks. The car sounds are awesome in that game. give them credit. They've done a really good job on the engine sounds. Graphics, well, a few people complain about the graphics, but I don't get it because the graphics look perfectly fine to me. I think people these days expect bells and whistles on everything, but the graphics in the game do the job perfectly well. Hey, look, I've missed out on that section, so we're going to go around the long way, I think, and try that again. Why did I miss that bit? Oh, yeah. Hey, where am I going? Don't want to go down that way, do I? I'm not paying attention to the map. Right, we've mapped that area, so we can head out of this city area, whatever you want to call it. Not tried teeth back in. I've not tried hill climbing in that game. I think when I first had it, I jumped into a hill climb car, but didn't really know what I was doing, to be honest. Yeah, I need to explore that game a bit more, because there is more to it than I've certainly done, you know? The Mercedes GT3 car, that's kind of tasty. Pops and bangs coming off that as you go around a track is awesome. But I haven't even tried. I ended up getting the full pack when it was Black Friday. I think that cost me about 40 odd, maybe 50 quid tops. Bargain if you ask me though at that price. Yeah, there's deals out over Christmas and Black Friday with that game. I'm sure there'll be deals out again. And I would recommend anybody who wants to get into racing have a look at that game. The AI in that game was pretty good as well, to be honest. Ray's got a server as well, has he? Must be well into his racing. Probably thrashed the pants off me in that one. Right, looks like there's a garage to the left here, so we're going to nip there first. We need to grab that. Of course, some kind of tram or train or whatever you want to call it. Like that. Now, come on. We can't all be Michael Schumacher. Or Alonso, or Lewis Hamilton, or, you know, take your pick. At the end of the day, you know, as long as you're having fun in whatever you're playing. Oh, yeah, you know, I should be buying them. Accuracy, how you doing? Eek. Let's buy that garage while we're here before we forget. Yes, we'll buy the garage. Thank you very much. He's flipping fine. How are the pedals? Are they working? Have you adjusted them anymore? Or have you left them as they were when we last talked? Have they bedded in and feel any better now, or did you feel the need to adjust? I think with Dirt Rally, I found that as soon as you find the swing of it, it becomes a lot easier. They are, aren't they? I just leave them set on the 1 and I can find I can jump into it almost any game. Well, every game I've gone into, I just leave them set on 35. I find that to be the best balance. I can go into almost any game, and if I need to tweak the brake, majority of the time, I tweak it in game, and I'm fine. But yeah, the brake pedal on these, absolutely worth the extra, just on that alone. I remember there was a time when I was driving in Dirt Rally. Oh, when I started driving Dirt Rally, I think nearly every time I went out, I had a puncture or rolled the car. It used to drive me absolutely nuts. No, well, you had a problem with your pedals back then. Now, thank God it was a problem, and it just wasn't the fact that you didn't get on with the pedals. But I did think when you started saying you couldn't set it and you couldn't get the pressure, there was a definite problem. Oh, hold on, where are we going? Oh, right, we're going there. We might be able to capture that road. Maybe we should all have a drive session sometime in Race Room or something. I'd be up for that at some point. Have a quick blat around, you know. I'm certainly not going to be the fastest, but you know, I'll give it a go. I must admit, I am trying to download settings for Race Room because, yeah, I hate setting up cars. Well, that's weird. So what did they do then? Did they sell you... What did they sell you? Did they send you a brand new set of pedals? Or did they say they fixed it? Or did they say they just sent it back? Oh, Race Room triple support is easy. Oh, I've just missed. Where's the get? No, turn left here and then turn. Yeah, there's the entrance over there. So, need to pick up this garage first. Well, you could easily say, you know, well, I could have sent you a video showing it wouldn't go over 30 or 20 or whatever it was. You know, maybe you had a faulty sensor and maybe the sensor had a jolt in delivery or took a jolt on the way back and sorted itself out, you know? Seems a bit unfair to be like that, but... Well, you're not going to go to the hassle of getting pedals sent back to get a replacement just for the sake of it. You know, they've got to look at it from your point of view as well. As long as it's working now, that's the main thing. I mean, the only other thing you could have done is plugged it into another PC and see if it did the same there. Well, I can't go that way, but we're going to swing it round so we can try and grab as much road as possible. Well, if you do, if you guys do race room around this time, or say from 8 PM UK time, I don't know where you are. Sorry. If you do a race around this time, ping me a message, because if I'm not streaming already, I'll be up for jumping on and having a quick plat. Yeah, I'm not convinced. You know those really ultra, I don't know what they call them, like the double ultra wide or whatever you want to call them. I don't know. I'm not convinced, you know. Yes, they might look good, but what I know for a fact that if I had one of those really wide monitors, the 49-inch Samsung, I think it is, you'd get the screen width, and yes, the screen does curve, but you won't get the wraparound effect. I still think triples has it. Now, whether you decide to go for ultra wide, I think for the majority of people, and if I had to say I was going to do this again, I would probably go for a 27-inch normal monitor, 16:9. I think I've just gone into the wrong end. Ah, it worked. Brilliant, that will do. How the shit am I going to get out of here? Sorry. I just realised what I've done. Gone into the smallest area possible. Crap. This could be a bit dodgy. Let me check this out. Yeah, we'll take a bit of curb, because I think we're going to need to. We might be getting stuck. I think we got stuck. I really didn't think. Yeah, 27s is probably the sweet spot. So if somebody said, what do you recommend? My recommendation would be 27-inch 16:9. Probably up to a 144 Hertz. Now, whether you decide to go for G-Sync or FreeSync is up to you, because NVIDIA now is supporting both. So you make sure you get a monitor that supports one or the other, because then you got, you know, a really nice screen to use. Doesn't lend itself. Bear in mind, if you're streaming, anything over 60 Hertz is really going to kill your stream, because it really taxes your PC quite a lot. Oh, come on. What? Yeah, go in or what? Seriously, you're gonna... Why? Drive down the road and pull in front of you. No, you can wait there. You're the police. Well, 27-inch shouldn't cost you too much either. I mean, you could probably get 27-inch monitor starting from about £200. You know, if you went for 1080p, yes, you could go for 4K, but I think 4K is going to be a bit overload on triples. If I was going to do 27s, I would probably look at 1440p monitors, because again, I think it's the sweet spot. But I've not tried it. I don't know what kind of FPS damage there would be from 1440p all the way around. Am I disappointed with 1080p? Not at all. I gotta admit, I really thought I would notice. Well, my monitor up above is a 1440p monitor, and I used to run that all the time. I mean, yeah, 2080 Ti is going to be an improvement over a 1080 Ti. But is it worth the extra that you're spending on it? For me, I don't get any issues playing my games with a 1080 Ti. The extra I would be spending to get a 2080, which I could do. I could get one tomorrow like that, but I just don't think it's worth it. I really don't. Gotta move that mouse to my nothing. Well, put it this way. If your heart is set in 1440p, go the 1440p triple. And if you're not getting the FPS you want, then you've always got the option to upgrade to a 2080 Ti. But I wouldn't get both at the same time. Because let's say you do 1440p and it works perfectly fine on the 1080, you may only get an extra, what, 10 frames? 20 frames tops? We don't know how well that card will perform on triples. Is it going to be the same as running a single 4K monitor? I got no idea, you know? Is that going to open? Yes, it is. I need to go in there. So if I was in your shoes, go for the screens first. See how you get on. If your frames per second is fine, then I wouldn't even consider a 2080. I would skip the 2080 and wait for whatever the next series is. Yes and no. Depends on the game. Some games are better than others for streaming. To be honest though, I'm getting by with a single PC to do it all. Even if I had a 2880 Ti. What you remember is your graphics card isn't doing the streaming. It's the CPU. But I know for a fact that if my graphics card hits 99% load, my whole stream just collapses. Even though I'm using the CPU to do the stream. Because as soon as that hits max, then everything else goes with it. And the same will happen with the 2080. If you max out a 2080 Ti, it doesn't matter how you're doing it, it's still going to be the same, and you'll end up having to have a separate PC down the line anyway. Right, hold on. I need to look at the map. Because clearly, this is messed up. Reset navigation. We still missed an area. Can we get to that? Yes. I'm so confused by this map. Yeah, 8700K is fine. You know, I've jumped up to a 9900K. I can improve the quality, but only by a small margin. Personally, for gaming, I probably wouldn't change your CPU. I did this more of a test for myself. I would say you're probably better off with a second rig. For streaming, that is. It'll give you a lot more flexibility. And if you have a dedicated streaming rig, you know, the choice is yours on the quality you decide to stream at. And if I was going to go for a second rig, I would personally go for an AMD system. It'll be nice and cheap. You could have 16 core or even a 6 core, you know, a 12 core rig. And you're probably looking at nearly a couple of £100 less than an Intel system. And because of the multi-core processing for your stream is very good on an AMD chip, the performance will be nearly as good. You just need a basic. It depends on how you're going to do it. If you're going to just be doing CPU encoding, you need a good CPU. So I would probably look at an AMD 12 or 16 core CPU. Oh, 16 thread, sorry. So what is it? A 2600 or a 2700? So you're looking about what, 300 quid? A basic motherboard. You don't really need 16 gig of RAM, but yeah, 16 gig of RAM certainly. A basic graphics card. Oh man, I need to turn this mouse off to do my nut up. Because all you need to do is be able to look at the screen, or when you're setting up. You're gonna need what, a network switch to get the two PCs connected over wired. I would do wired connection personally. And you need a location where you can mount it, where you can plug all your stuff in. So if you're using cameras, make sure that's all plugged into the PC. Or you could use NDI to pass through, but I don't know how that would work for performance. But I'm thinking of doing a second rig. If I do a second rig, it'll be an AMD system, because it'll keep price down. Because the AMD chips, when it comes to processing things like graphics, when it comes to doing, you know, zip files, audio work, they're just as good as Intel counterpart at a lower rate of cost. Whereas if you need the higher clock speed for your FPS side of it, then yeah, absolutely get an Intel 8700K or above, because it will give you that extra over what an AMD chip. You know, that margin is narrowing down, but personally, when you're encoding, or if you're doing any graphic or productivity work in general, the AMD chip is just as good as an Intel at a better price. You know, you could have two 8700Ks, but that would just be silly, because you're not going to get the best from it, because it's just going to be used as a dedicated encoding machine. Yeah, you could go crazy if you want to spend your money, get a Threadripper. You'd be laughing then with those cores, but it's just not needed. Even your basic, you know, 2600 or a 2700 CPU would probably do the job perfectly fine. I mean, when you think about it, I think the first edition of Threadripper, I think you can pick those CPs, you know, what are they? They're 16 core, is it? CPU, 32 threads or something? I can't remember what it is now. You can pick them up nearly like 500 quid for the CPU alone now. And that was nearly a, what, £800 when it first came out? Literally. 2600. Have a look at the 2600. How much is that? That's got to be like 200 odd. And then you need a motherboard to go with it, so I would guess... Oh crap, I've gone too tight. So you're probably looking at what, maybe 100 to 150 for the motherboard. RAM's going to set you back. Crap. RAM's going to set you back about 130 for 16 gig. For the AMD chipset, you need high clock speed, so a 3200 megahertz should be fine. Right, I need to go straight in there. That's a nice boat. Can I have one of those, please? You know, a basic graphics card, I don't know, something like a 1050. Is there anything lower than a 1050? I have no idea. Or even if you've got an old graphics card stuck in the cupboard, you know? Can I go in there? No, I don't need to. Oh, I'm too busy yapping and thinking. So I don't know where I'm going. Eek! Whoa! That was close. I struggle with more than one thing at a time. just get yourself a basic AMD. Go on Amazon and find out how much a 2600 CPU is. AMD 2600. I think that's the 6-core chip they do. Oh, this is going to be... Yeah, going to hit one of them. Because if that's like 200, say a motherboard at 100, that's 300. RAM, another 130, so that's 430 quid. You can't build? Now come on. Seriously. PCs are easy to build. Build, build, build. Unless you get a good deal on a pre-built system, fair enough. But they're few and far between. I've never bought a PC system off the shelf. I've always built my own. I mean, it's got to be easy. If I can talk a friend to build a PC over Skype, I'm sure you can build one. Trust me, there are videos online where you could have a quick look. There's very little you can get wrong. Even the manual that comes with the motherboard will tell you how to plug a CPU in, will tell you how to plug the RAM in, will tell you where to plug the cables in. The only difficult of building your own PC is actually buying the parts and making sure you buy the right parts to work with the right motherboard and what have you. You get that right, the rest of it's plain sailing. Very rare something will go wrong, and when it does, it's usually, well, it's not working, send it back. Just like anything else you buy. But it's your call at the end of the day, you know. I can understand there's plenty of people out there who buy off the shelf at the end of the day. Yeah, it is. I've built PCs for years. But yeah, on another way of doing it is price up the parts. So you're looking at, what did we say? Let's say £200 for a CPU, £100 for a motherboard, or thereabouts. RAM is another 130. What did we say? That's 430. You want a power supply, a graphics card, and a case to put it all in. So power supply, you could be spending 80 to 100. A graphics card, you could be spending 100 to 150, depending whether you buy new or second hand. And a case to put it in, you could probably spend around £80 mark. Yeah, but what I mean is, if you price up the parts, and you know that it's going to cost you to stay there, let's say it's going to cost you, I don't know, 800 quid. Then you can price up how much you can get a system of the similar spec. And if it's going to cost you, say, £500 more, then you just got to decide, right, well, is it worth me spending £500 to get the system built for me? Or shall I just buy the parts and try building it myself? And then it's your call then, you know, it's your money at the end of the day. I mean, granted, these system builders have got to make their money somehow, but remember, they buy in bulk as well. So they build these systems and they're buying their parts in bulk, which means they get them at a cheaper rate. So maybe there's a good deal to be had, you know? If a system builder turned around and said, well, it's going to cost you 100 extra just to get the same system but built by us, maybe it's worth your while. What you tend to find is, though, they'll spec things like, oh, you can have an 8700K, you can have 16 gig of RAM. You know, they'll sell you the bells and whistles, but what you got to look closely at then is the motherboard. What type of motherboard is is going in there? Is it a good motherboard? Does it let you expand? Because there are some really bad motherboards out there which you wouldn't want to touch. The RAM, is it a good spec RAM? Are they giving you fast memory timings or just bunging in the slowest possible RAM stick? You know, are they putting in an SSD? How big is it? Is it going to be enough to hold any games, or is it just, you know, 128 gig? Or all these little factors you have to count. That's that one and there. So what's next for you then, Accuracy? What are you going to do? You're going to still be waiting for the Fanatec Direct Drive, or are you itching to purchase anything else soon? We all will. These are forever changing. I'm always tweaking this. I went online the other day and ordered a SimLabs keyboard tray because this mount that I've got here is just a temporary mount for the keyboard because I changed my keyboard. So I'll get a proper tray for that. There's a couple of other things I'm thinking of in the pipeline, so we'll see about that sooner or later. But yeah, it's always growing. Have you had any updates on that yet, or have they given you a date as to when that's likely to be now? I've seen loads of guys talking on the Facebook pages about cancelling their orders with Fanatec and going for OSW. I don't think they're doing themselves any favour with the length of time they're taking. It's still end of April. Yeah, that's a worry for me. That's a long time. It's good that they're giving a long warranty, because at least then you've got a bit of peace of mind. You bought one of the new rims though, didn't you? Yeah. The only thing to worry about there, if you did decide to cancel, you'd have to sell your F1 rim. Fanatec, in their infinite wisdom, have decided now to put some encoding into the rim, which means the guy who was looking at modifying those rims has come up a cropper that he can't actually modify it yet. You can get the wiring work done, but he can't get the rim to work. For so, it would seem that when you, with the new rim, it does a check against the wheel that it's plugged into, the base, and if it doesn't get the right signal back, the rim won't work properly. So they're still working on it to see if they can find a way around the kind of coding they've got, which is annoying because I'm disappointed by that, because I thought, well, if they carry on doing it the way they're doing it, then it's another avenue for them to get into, making a wheel for other markets. But I can see why they're doing it from their business point of view, but it's a shame, you know, because I was kind of looking forward to maybe getting one of those rims, but I'm going to hold fire now, see whether somebody can work any magic or sprinkle some fairy dust and get it working here. It would have been nice though. I would have loved one of those rims. So yeah, if you did change, it would mean thinking twice about whether you keep that rim. But then again, I think people are selling them who are changing to OSWs, getting quite a bit of money back, because it's a, you know, a wanted product at the end of the day. Yeah, it's how it's coded with the wheel. But I think it's the same on any system that you plug it in with Fanatec. It does that check. I don't know what it is. Whatever. Is there like a chip inside that sends a signal on all wheels or whatever? Because clearly that wheel will work well on any base that you have with Fanatec. but it won't work on just a standard USB output. There's something somewhere. I mean, if push comes to shove, I'll get the McLaren wheel instead. Not that I really want that one, but... well, I hope it is. Because I must admit, I was tempted by the red one. It was like, I would like that wheel, but... it's looking like that's not going to be a possibility for the time being. Yeah, the only thing I wasn't convinced with the quality of the McLaren wheel compared to their other wheels. And of course when the new ones came out they looked 10 times better, so I was like, well, that one's off my list. But now the McLaren wheel is one of the few wheels that does work with the OSW. And it's like, well, it's back on the list for now. Yeah, I knew the pedals will sell easy. You know. There's lots of people out there who are upgrading to Fanatec stuff. It's a good step up for a lot of people as well. That's some good roads. Can't argue with that. I mean, how much are they brand new? I can't remember. That's not a million miles off, is it? Lights on. Let's get some lights on, shall we? Oh, some new roads. That's what we want. Yeah, it's not a bad price when you think about it. Let's factor in the length of time you had them. I mean, you could have hung around and try and got slightly more for them, but what, you might be arguing over what? Well, you got to remember second hand at the end of the day, but there shouldn't be a problem with the pedals. The pedals are pretty solid from Fanatec. It's the wheelbases that I would worry about the most. Or the shifter. You know what? I've undenied about getting the Fanatec H-pattern shifter that they do, the 1.5, whatever it is. But I see so many people having issues with that shifter. It's like, I really don't know if I want to go down that path. Well, that's just it. There's not much to go wrong, you know. I never wore shoes with my pedals, so yeah, mine were pretty much the same. I'm still holding out in the hope that Heusinkveld bring out a H-pattern. I really hope they do. They've had information saying that they're looking to release one, but that was ages ago. But it's big, you know? That's what puts me off that shifter, is the big box. I like the size of this one. If they made a shifter this big, probably jump all over it. But I must admit, I don't use H-pattern that much. I do for this game, but it doesn't need a very technical box or anything for that. Glad I invested in the handbrake, because that is brilliant. But we'll see. There may be some changes. First off, though, get this mounted properly. And then I've got to have a look at how things are positioned on the rig and see what I can squeeze in. Right, we are 1 hour away. Well, 2 hours away, sorry. We need to be there in 3 minutes. 2 minutes! Oh, we're going to be late. By about 1 hour 24. The Fanatec handbrake, from what I'm aware, is supposed to be pretty good in itself. But I do like this. This was just a joy to use. But then again, it's my only handbrake I've ever had, so I've got nothing to compare it to. What was that? Going straight on. So this area I'll have to drive through again because there's still plenty of roads to be done. Oh, this thing is rock solid. I know, I've seen the Fanatec handbrake in use and it does look like it's got quite a bit of flex in it. I mean, this has a little bit of movement left and right, but I can yank on this and it's, you know, it's gonna stay connected and it's, you're not stressing it. Plus obviously it's load cell based as well. And it is really nice. You can really control the handbrake really well on it. Well, that's the thing, see, unless you see somebody selling it second-hand, you know, you're pretty much stuck with buying from Demon Tweaks. What you could do is see about if you bought your handbrake on the cheap, why not try and sell it and see if you can get more than what you paid for it and put it towards getting one of these? What are they? Fanatec handbrakes? They're about, what, 120 quid? So if you sold it, I don't know, get 80 quid for it maybe? I don't know. Depends what people are willing to pay. Maybe put it on eBay or something. Oh, it's 80 quid off one of these, and what are these, about 200 odd? There we are, 9. I'm in the wrong gear now because I waited too long to get into gear. What, the sequential one? You're gonna hate me. Mine's already on order. That was the, that's why I've made a hole by here. No way, yeah. I phoned up Demon Tweaks at the beginning of the week, placed an order. So I ordered the tray and a sequential shifter. They're out of stock at the moment. They said it's going to be about 8 to 10 days. I was like, no! So yeah, I did. I was looking at the airlog shifter, and I thought, I really want something small. And I had a look at, you know, the proper rally style with the long stalk from the ground up and what have you. But I thought, where am I going to mount it? You know, I haven't really got the room for a full-on rally style unless I get rid of the H-pattern mount as well. And I don't want to be messing around with the rig. I want everything to be installed on the rig and usable. So I thought the best is going to be that shifter. The HE shifter is so small, and it's probably one of the best rated ones for that price. Now, to get better than that, you're probably looking at spending like 500 quid, you know? So I thought, you know what? I'm going to order it. So I did. Well, hopefully it should be towards the end of next week, if the delivery comes through. Because you know what Demon Tweaks are like. As soon as they get it, they ship it next day, so it should be with you, you know? Well, I was looking at that. They use a standard 10mm thread as well, which means you can attach any gear shift knob with a 10mm thread in it. So you can go for aftermarket. So I've been looking at aftermarket gear shifters. You can buy aftermarket shifter extender bars as well. So there's plenty of different sizes out there as well. So you can really modify it to your heart's content. As long as you get the right fitting, which would be 10mm fittings, you know, you can really make it your own. So there's a couple I've spied that I thought, you know what, it'd be nice to have a nice chrome ball or something. Make it look a bit different from everybody else's. Oh, it's one of these trailers. These suck. I hate them. Steerable trailers. That'll do. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it. Especially me getting into my rally games and Dirt Rally coming out. Well, as far as I'm aware, the stock with HE for all this stuff is pretty slim at the moment. With the launch of their pedals, I think loads of people have gone, ooh, let's buy this as well, you know? I turned it off, didn't I? Right, map. I bet we didn't do much. So we've gone from 82.69 to what, 80... Sorry, we were on 82.41 or something, or 48. Oh my god, this is going to take forever. I've got all that grey area there I need to sort out, so I might just take the truck out I've got and go for a drive round there. Yeah, well, look at it this way. You'd be spending another couple of £100 on top. And if it's just for the look, well, you're not really going to be looking at your pedals all day long, are you? I mean, the way to look at it is they've changed the metal. If they'd used the same metal and they left them bare and they used the thicker profile metal, then probably wouldn't be far off. But you know, I thought the same of you. You know, you look at the pedals and you think, well, they don't look as good as the next ones up, but you're not buying them to look at. You're buying them to play your game. So for me, it was like, well, you know, yeah, they might not look as good, but as long as they work, that's what counts. At the end of the day, they could look like the back end of a bus for all I care, but as long as they work well, I'm not going to care. That's what counts. Right, let's go for a quick drive and mop up this area because this one's got loads of little broken roads. Today be nice. Right, I need to detach this trailer if I remember correctly. Not gonna make that one just yet. Well, there's a lot of people who are getting into sim racing now, and got to remember, with sim racing's being pushed a lot more now. Esports is lifting off. You know, that's making a bit of a scene for itself. You know, if you looked at esports this time 2 years ago, it was nothing in comparison. And when you think about it, if it wasn't for the Gran Turismo series and the work they did with finding drivers for this, that, and the other, I don't think we would have half of where we are now. Oh, absolutely. I mean, hats off to them for that one. Right. I need to swing this round. Oh my god, I gotta remember my back end comes round when I hit the brakes. I forgot. Right, hold on. That mouse is really gonna cheese me off by there. Wrong gear. Right, no, don't move, don't move, don't move, don't move. Not in this game. It's a free-for-all. Now, I've learnt with this track, if you don't have a trailer on, you can kind of almost drift it. See what I mean? Oh, look at that! It's awesome. And all you need to do is put your foot on the brake and the back end steps out as you turn. Brilliant. Try it again now, shall we? Or will I roll it? Oh. So much fun. Really dangerous though. I can't remember the name. It's a guy who does loads of sound mods. Starts with K. Can't remember it. Not running smooth. I don't think that's running smooth. I'll have to check. It's going to annoy me if it's not. Oh, it's a great mod, this one. I think we're going this way today. I think we're going the wrong way as well, though. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Do I want to go down here? This is gonna suck. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I think I need to turn it around by here. Boop. Yeah. let's go up here. Gotta watch that back end. Does make it rather lively. Right, so we're going... We'll go straight on. You got all these little roads that interlink, and I can't get to all of them unless you've got a job that goes round every blimmin' road. Pain. Yeah, not a problem. It is getting to that time, innit? It won't be long before I gotta crack on and go to bed. Take care, Betty. Good to speak to you again. Oh, look, off-key is still there. Thought he fell asleep or went. You've been lurking. Thought you vanished. Oh, look at that back end come round. I swear this truck didn't used to handle like this. Whoa, there she goes. That's two wheels. Oh, blimey. Whew, that was risky. Right, I gotta look at the map because I need to decide where I'm gonna go from here to clear it up. Yeah, info. Don't get me started. When I just start, I don't stop sometimes. I love helping. If I can help and, you know, give advice, I certainly will. It may not be 100% accurate, but it'll be close. There's one thing I do like to do. I do like to do my research when it comes to PC parts. I'm always happy to help. Right, and so I've come down here, turn around, go up here, go all the way up, come off, and back around here. Nice. It's all good. Easy stuff. If you need me to explain anything, just ask. I'm more than happy to. Knock this light off because it's kind of getting my head. Boop. There you go. Easier on the ice for me now. As long as it didn't put you to sleep off key, it's all good. What usually happens. What? Hold on. I think I need to change my location. We are going... We want to go to here. Well, to there. We'll go up and around. We can come back around then. I'm going to go there first. Then here. Second. Why does it reverse the order when I do that? Oh my god. Second there. First there. Seriously? Oh, this game's annoying. I just want the road to go there. What? Can't you turn off by here and come down? Alright, this sat-nav doesn't know what it's doing, I swear. I'm just going to turn right by here and see what happens. Whoa! Why did it change my view? Probably because I didn't put the mouse back where I should have. Okay, kids, don't do this. Because there's an overpass by there, so we'll use that. It just seems really stupid to take me all the way down there just to come the long way around. Right, so we're going to come down here, head to what? The roundabout, was it? I don't know, I can't remember now. Right, need that on. Okay. I'm missing my map. Oh well, I've got to reprogram my key. We're coming down here. I'm going this way, is it? Shoot, I'm lost in my map. Where am I going? No, going the right way. Well, of course, because you don't want to be driving your truck in your living room, do you? Come on now. That made perfect sense. Right, so round the roundabout. Oh, jeez, it did it again. Yeah, I want to go up that road. I've got to check the big map because it doesn't make sense to me sometimes. Is this the right one? I think it is. And then it's a turning on the right up ahead. So I think it's that one. No, 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 no. You can't go up that one because it doesn't go that way. Ah, that's a sneaky one. Hello Devore, how are you doing? I'm doing well, thank you very much. What have you been up to? Where am I going? Jesus, this map is doing my nutting. And this is why I took the trailer off. Right, so I'm looking at this right, straight up. First right. Ugh. Or I'm gonna get this seriously wrong. What GPU did you have again? Was it a 1050? I can't remember what it was now. Don't see why not. What have you got now, sorry? Was it a 1050? I can't remember. I remember you saying, but my man's drawn a blank. Right, map again. Where am I? Where I'm lost. Yeah. Well, what game is it? ETS you're playing? And if it's ETS, when you try and play it on triples, what kind of frames per second are you getting? And are you trying to run ultra? Or are you putting it down to medium, or have you tried low? Because you need to gauge where you are with your current card. So I carry on going up. There's a section up here I can get. I'm going to get that now. Ooh, I'm all over the shop. Right, so what do we take on the next right? How much fuel we got? Oh, we got loads of fuel. That ain't a problem. Seriously, why did you stall? Turning by here. Well, I was going to try and cheat there. What do you know? What kind of frames per second you were getting on low, or was it really, really bad on low as well? Oh God, man! I didn't hit those brakes, did I? how you do it. Drifted into the corner. I would have thought that a 1070 should be fine. Maybe how much is a 1070 these days? Because a 2060, I mean, they're coming out soon. They're like 350 odd quid. They're supposed to be pretty good, and I don't think they're far off a 1070 performance. Well, next time you load the game, check the... Oh, what's it called? I can never remember. Hold on, I'll show you now. When you go to graphics, put everything to low, but check your scaling here and make sure your scaling is set to 100%. Only put it up if you're getting good frames, and I don't even run 400%. If you want to, you can put the scaling down to see if it helps boost performance, but your graphics will look a lot worse. But make sure that's on minimum 100, and then go from there. If you're then playing that fine, you can then go up a level at a time. But then you may start to, because sometimes I've seen this. I've booted mine sometimes, and it's been on 400, and it's like it just doesn't need to be up there, and that taxes the system quite a lot. So just make sure that's on 100. But if it's running, you know, or lagging on 100, then yeah, you're definitely going to need to upgrade for sure. Give me a gear. Where was that going? Right, let's go this way. Oh, did you see that? I really love drifting this thing. Alright, it's not really a drift, it's just sliding it around a corner, but hey, it feels good. Yeah, so you're looking at either a 1070, I know that there's a new 2060 coming out, which is a similar price. I think the performance isn't too far off of 2070 either, to be honest. But maybe worth considering one of those, because that would be the new RTX card. Didn't quite drift around that one then, did it? Oh, that was almost perfect. Let's try around here now, shall we? Stalled it. On the other hand, it depends on your budget. I wouldn't discount a second-hand 1080 either. You can find someone who's just purchased a 1080 but needs to move it through because they've upgraded to a 2080 or a 2080 Ti. Gotta get yourself a bit of a bargain. But when it comes to second-hand, that's your call, you know, because not everybody's happy buying second-hand GPUs. I can understand that. Oh, sorry. Oh, we gotta stop. Oh. I should have gone that way. Oh, hold on, I can turn around here. Not by there, I can't. Whoops. Straight to the cops. Right then, so tidied up that little area. I love it. This thing without a trailer is so much fun. Oh, why not? I can't remember. This is brilliant fun. Who needs a snow mod? You just buy this truck, hit the brakes, and off you go. Right, and so we got that garage, and think there was a little bit extra. We've crept up 75.75 now, so we got to go over here now. Right, where are we? And this is the worst part, when you get up to this kind of level in terms of map. It's just such a chore to find those little areas that you haven't done. It's like, really? I didn't do this? Ugh. Right, let's get the first gear would help. It really doesn't like being up there, does it? Yes. Didn't get the gear right that time. Ooh, bit of curb. I'm trying to get a bit of rally driving going on with the truck. I'm going to see if I can take it out on a dirt rally stage. I don't mind running red lights while I'm doing that. Hold on, I've got to slow down for you. Right, here's the first one. Oh god. Not the tightest turn and circle I would like. Wait. Could have stopped. I don't know, you could find an off-road area in ATS and have a try. I actually haven't tried doing that on the dirt roads in this game yet. I don't know if that's risking it too much. Ninth gear is perfect though. Turn, back end, go. This is great. Jeez. Yeah, pushing it with that gear then. Straight in here. We need that one. That's a big one. Stalled it. Stalled it again. Getting worse now, not better. Alright, let's calm down a bit, shall we? So what have we got left? Let's go right first. Oh, trouble. Stop turning. And there's me saying, we'll behave now. No, we won't. It really does help you turn the truck around, I tell you that much. Oh, biker! He's dead! I didn't see him at all till the last moment. Ah, there goes the damage to the truck. We're on 90% damage. I'm not surprised really the way I drive. And this... oh no, look, I've missed one little section. Ah, let's go get it. Yes, that's what they say, think bike. I clearly didn't. I thought, let's just kill and maim. Ah, come on. Right, where are we? I think it's just by there. Yeah, been here before. There's a sign on the floor. Right, maps. My mouse isn't there, it's over there. 76. Oh my god, that's taken forever. Right, so we've cleaned up there, done that. Ah, it's going to be a long, hard slog. It's all these little scraggly bits. Ugh, hate them. And it's just ruined my screen up there. So I've managed to do 2 jobs today. The rest of it is just messing around. And this is why it's taken me such a long time to get like even up to 85%, because all the main roads are pretty much done. It's these little side roads that you got to capture. God, it's going to take me forever. Ever and a day. Right, and so getting late anyways, what, it's 11:30, so I think I'm going to knock it on the head there. Off key, as I said before, the offer stands. If you guys are going to be doing a race room day one day, by all means send me a message if you want. You're more than welcome to. Hit me up in Discord if you want to join there. You can always send me a message there, I'll get it there. Or you can find me on Facebook. By all means, give me a shout. If I'm not doing anything, I'd happily join in. Be good for a laugh. Don't expect me to be any good at racing though, because I enjoy driving around, but I'm certainly not the fastest out there. But yeah, I'm going to leave that there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. So take care. Ciao for now.